How do you know Argenta? Have you seen him on footfall before?
Not on footfall.
The cultist laughs hoarsely.
In another place. She flew right in, like a bird into a snare.
Argenta is staring at the cultist, her eyes wide. As if against her will, she whispers two words.
Salus Prime.
Argenta, what is he talking about? She snaps out of it as if emerging from a reverie. A planet, a place, it doesn't matter. I know these heretics. I fought them and was gravely wounded. But I swear I never turned from them and ran.
How about you heretics and rogue traders? We're back with some rogue trader. It's a bit of the old Warhammer weekend. And one bunch of heretics I won't be running from is the Sproutland viewers. So let's continue the story. Another thing I would point out, I don't think that Argenta would have run from these. She's pretty hard as nails from what I've gathered so far, but let's see how it pans out. So we're interrogating the cult leader here. We're just checking out their gang. She turns to the cultist, her eyes filled with cold fury. If you truly have seen me on Salus Prime, someone among you must know a way to get there. Do you have your own ship and navigator? Answer me! Ships and maps, roads and doors, we have them all, but our paths are not for you. The true God spins his web and you are but a fly caught in it. But where is the spider? The cultist's eyes fill with madness. Right, okay, so here we go. Interrogating the cult leader. We need something a bit more coherent. It's kind of madness, isn't it? This is just kind of spouting off. We can always say end him, Argenta. That's one good thing. On Rogue Trader, always get the option just to zap them. But maybe we can get more out of him. Should we mention this? True God, maybe? What do you reckon, guys? Who or what is this true God you keep mentioning? You will know in time. The cultist gives you a wicked smile painted with the fresh blood on his lips. Right, we need something a bit more coherent, please. Rogue Trader, we won't get anything from this madman. Come on, guys. That's my part of the story. I will tell it, but not here. In his presence. Well, I think she's saying, okay, let's get on with this, you know, just give me the order to end him, because he's just spouting rubbish, you know, we're kind of going around in circles here. All right, Argenta, end him. You can kill me, servants of the corpse emperor, but you can't stop the victory of the true God. The edge of daybreak is nigh, and the hour of his triumph approaches. Silence hangs from it, then Argenta turns, oh, she shot him. She's already done it, that's it. Fulfill the Reverend's request, which means I am now free. I can continue my travels with you, Rogue Trader. Well, maybe she's bitten off more than she can chew, but she's joining our crew, which is always good. Yeah, she's been pretty good as Argenta, so looks like we've got her permanently in our retinue. And we finished off that part of the mission here, so. Before we leave this den, let's round up what remains of the blasphemers. I would like to cleanse this place with purifying flame. Yep, she's got a flamer actually, to be fair. But perhaps we can find clues that might tell us where these heretics came from, or if they have any more associates. Yeah, it does seem like a plan. Let's poke around a bit and do some investigation. Right, she wants to meet on the ship when it's time to depart. Okay, right, let's have a quick look around this, shall we? Let's try and see what's happening. So yeah, we're just entering into a new system we're going to be checking out. We're still on the hunt for these cultists. Just taking out their little crew here on footfall. And we're continuing with the Warhammer weekend, so mostly Rogue Trader with a bit of Space Marine 2 thrown in as well. Thanks for everyone who's been getting involved so far on the stream and also on the YouTube channel. If you want more information on that. Or the new DLC expansion. We've got a link for a discount on that. Just get in touch and I'll leave that in the description if you're watching later on YouTube. So I'm just going to collect all this stuff here. It looks like some pretty good stuff there actually from that guy. Need to remember to equip that later and we'll send all this into the store. Start to get a bit of trade stuff going as well. we've taken on board this kind of pirate trader woman, Jay, who's pretty good actually, and armed her with some toxic needle kind of weapons. So yeah, she can use those. Our diary weapons, so that's pretty useful. Our guys still need training up so they can start using all that stuff, but we're going to try and get hold of some of these old diary weapons when we can. Right, here we go, got a bit of a booby trap. Let's just unpause and we're going to take in the man for the job. Get Pascal on there. Right, let's just unlink everybody. It's always good to move that so we can stop them. Oh, demolition 85%. Use demolition as an agent. Yeah, there we go.
A child was saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling.
Oh, bit of juice cartons. Yeah, we need those. Bit of juice and rations. Gotta get the snacks ready. Got myself a brew. I'm going for the long haul here. Back to back Rogue Trader and Space Marine 2. So get yourself comfy. You have to help me make the right decisions because I will invariably head towards the path of heresy, being a crime lord. That's my background.
Keep your wits about you.
Do I really want to head out there? Is there more to investigate around here? Let's have a quick look. I feel like I should get a save in here because I've done quite a lot there. So I've been kicking off. Taking out a full clan. Interrogated the guy and ended up executing him. I think that was about right though. I wasn't going to get much more out of him. Let's just put a save there. Let's have a look, if there's any more clues around here. Any more, right, yeah, I'll get Pascal on that. Yeah, we'll look at more details on the stuff later. I'm just going to grab all this. It's useful there. It does look pretty good actually. 15 to 23. 4 hammer. Like a stub gun basically, isn't it? But it's quite high damage, isn't it, for a stub gun? Right, let's yeah, grab that.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Yeah, so just to give you a bit of a background of my character, I've gone with the crime lord background, the hive world origin. Now, why did I pick that one? The only real reason was because I grew up on games like Space Crusade and as well Necromunda, the old tabletop games that I had a bit of a go with when I was younger. So that's kind of the part of the lore and the background that I'm most familiar with. So that's kind of what my character in this is based around. So obviously you might just be playing Warhammer games for the first time. Pretty in-depth background story and lore, but can be a bit overfacing at first sometimes if you're not into those sort of games. But it's a very interesting background story though to the whole thing, and there's lots of different sort of subsections of it. So in the hive it's like a big massive tower block with all the criminals in the bottom levels fighting it out and the rich folks on top, you know, and they're separate from the scumbag underworld that goes on underneath, and that's where my guy fought his way out from, essentially, to become the rogue trader in my background. So that will affect my stats in certain ways, and that's kind of the way we're going to play it, really. Yeah, so trying to head on the path towards being a good rogue trader, but I will be tempted back towards my heretical past from time to time. So especially when it comes to these Aldari weapons that are being offered as well. So I feel like it's time to get out of here though, like I've of this area. Maybe come back and have a bit of an investigation here, but we've taken out the main guy. Not sure what else is going to be around here.
I know how to take risks.
Yeah, so I can highlight objects, can't I? Yeah, this would perhaps be more useful if I'm like searching around for things like clues, Perhaps don't use that enough, the highlight objects button. Something over here actually, what's this? Type tags. Kind of been on this footfall for a while. I don't know if it's time to go and scoot off a little bit. This is about investigating the rest of it. Shall we look on the journal, see what's going on here? Right, she wants to meet on the ship. Search for the Heretic's Den. Right, we know that. Yeah, it's going to meet her on the ship. That's basically it now, isn't it? You have to know that. Yeah. Right, let's see what we've got outstanding here. Sequence of the call, that could be what we're looking for. Alright, he wants to chat to us, he's already on the ship, so yeah, we're just going to be heading back to the ship, I think. So we need to check back in with the ship anyway, see how things are going over there. Done quite a lot around here on footfall actually, but it's been pretty profitable actually for us. Got a few trade deals, got a new member of the crew here. That's exactly what we needed actually, was a kind of trade representative who can get involved with all that sort of stuff and open up trade opportunities like for the long-term strategy. So let's head back to the ship. I think that's probably the best bit. Need to talk to Argento about what the hell's going on. Need to chat to Heinrichs about this cult leader thing. We've not been on the ship for a while because we've been doing various missions down here, fighting cult leaders and rebellions and all sorts of stuff. So, but yeah, I quite like Footfall and the Shadow Quarters. Reminds me of my Hive World home, so making me feel a bit homesick here actually, to be honest. But my kind of place to hang around. But I'm going to shoot off, get back to running my void ship that I've been just recently given control of. So we left the warehouse where the clan was hiding. There was found that secret entrance there. And, yeah, because we quite like the live around here. It's quite a good sort of underworld kind of bad guy town. Oh, hello. Careful with that flamethrower around my gang, please. If you. Whoa, 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 whoa! Don't flamethrower my crew. What the fuck are you doing? What's going on here? Salutes me with his flame. Yeah, I did salute me with his flame and he took my eyebrows off here. Your lordship, what? No, the whole of Footfall is talking about the new head of House von Valancius. Yeah, that's Sproutcus von Valancius. Remember that. Right, foreman of Footfall utility crew at your service. What are you doing? Just burning rats and some trash and some parasites of other sorts. Suspicious. District's under quarantine. You see it got hit by something nasty. Oh shit. Disease. Or maybe it wasn't a disease. Just some bugs and worms that crawled out of some ship or other. I was not suggesting it was my ship because I've got a very clean ship. It is a bit odd that it all happened here and not at the docks. I'll grant you that. Things that usually start there. They even sprayed them with some gunk to kill the bugs and worms, but I guess something slipped through. 2 families in that block way over there snuffed it and Leeds was not say I'm getting the district surrounded so nobody could leave. Right. So you don't know, right, what it was, bugs or whatever. It's under quarantine, they don't know what the hell's going on. No, we don't. We'd rather not find out. So they're just blasting shit with the flamethrower, hoping for the best. Yeah, sounds like a plan. We've contained the founders, and that's good enough if you ask me. How exactly did the victims die? It's good. You get to get into a pretty detective stuff with this. I get to do a fair bit of detective work on the old rogue trader, so yeah, if you like doing a bit of investigative work and get involved in this sort of RPG side of it, as well as the turn-based combat, pretty good game for yeah, also hitting on the Warhammer kind of world and represents that quite well. So they found them in their hovels already dead. Blue sores on the bodies. Stank awful. Yeah. Right, so nobody looted them, right, okay, yeah. Right. Good on them, I guess. Right. What measures have been taken to deal with the problem? You're looking at them, yeah, blasting stuff with a flamethrower, what? What else do you need? So we're standing here, burn the furnace, and we've got people standing guard so that no one escapes. Put some mines down, a whole load of them for the same reasons. They better not stop me from getting on my ship here. This sounds like they're going to stop me from getting on my ship and going back to what I'm supposed to be doing. But the water's all blocked off. The air's open, I suppose, but the furnace doesn't seem to be airborne. Strange deaths outside the district. Ed, not too bad about that. Okay, let's ask about that. Yeah, of course not. I mean, I heard Reverend Hieronymus has been praying for their souls, which sounded more like retribution fell upon them, and rightly so. That's the most they can hope for. Do I want to go into the quarantine zone? That's what I say. Your Lordship, have mercy, I can't say no to you, but the danger is just as real to you as it is the whole station. We'll clear a way for you, but it'll take a lot of time. It won't be easy to just break down the barricades and disarm the mines. Gives you a long look, hoping that you'll reconsider. Alright, go on then. This is going to do it. Using his status as Roger Load comes to secure to enter the quarantine zone, we must wait for the station crew to remove the ship. Yeah, okay.
Or get left in the dust.
Right, clear these traps, let me in. Right, we're going to come back to that maybe. I can disarm this for you, to be honest. I'll send our gentle to it, she'll sort it out, no problem. Right, they're going to get that sorted out anyway for us, and I want to go and check these out, right? But, there's always something going on footfall, man. I've just dealt with one problem. There's always some issue happening. When you deal with a rebellion, then the cultist pops up, deal with that, and then massive weird disease or infection of some kind, or maybe some kind of alien shit happening. Yeah, brilliant place out with these massive crowds in the market and stuff, and all the different gang elements. So I've picked up one of them, Jay, from one of these crews here. She's quite a wily character, so yeah, should be a good addition to the crew. So I want to try and get out of here though now while I still can. Hold off all before it all gets placed under lockdown, because sounds like the whole thing's been turned into some kind of quarantine zone. Only in a limited area, but so far. But you know how these things can spread, so let's get the hell out of here. So I'm not wandering around all over the place. I can just pull up. This is quite a good trick. You can just pull up the map. So I'll go into a kind of cursor mode. So right. That's the pub. That's the football, right? That's, yeah, just around the corner from it. Yeah, and if you get confused, say I can just actually take you to it. I've gone actually the opposite way there, but yeah, quite handy how you can move around on the map actually. Yeah, quite like that. Quite like that sort of function there. Can get a bit confusing some of these asymmetric maps when you're back and forth, but you know, it's helpful when you're in the non-turn-based mode. Right, let's go to the rest of football 4, guys. Let's get out of here. Yeah, I think we're all done here, so let's head back to the dock, get on the ship. I've got a bad feeling they're going to hold us up there and say, oh no, we're not having any of the ships leave because of the quarantine or something, you know what I mean? But hopefully we'll be alright. yeah, I've quite enjoyed my time here on Footfall. I always like to see how games do these sort of dystopian kind of underworld levels. Those are some of the best places for these sort of sci-fi RPG games. Kind of like the prerequisite for a dystopian world, you're going to have one of those dodgy bars that's bustling with life and criminal activity, where you can get missions from people. Just need to have one, don't you? But yeah, it's a particularly good example of it. But yeah, we've pretty much solved all the problems there, so we're going to go and shoot off. Get into this trade stuff, and again, I'm just going to go to the map here because I forget exactly where I'm going to go. Let's just do it the easy way. Flagship Bridge, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's only around the corner there. Pretty obvious when you get there, to be fair, but yeah, don't want to be running about needlessly. Yeah, well, it was supposed to be a short stop off here, but we've been here for quite a few missions, and yeah, spent a few days sorting things out. Back sure we'll be back before too long. Take the leaflets with me. Right, yep, let's exit. So yeah, there seems to be some connection with Argenta and those cultist guys. Like they bump into him on this Sally's Prime place, but I think she's got something to tell us about this in private. The inspection of the ship systems is complete. The tech police are reporting the machine spirits are calm and satisfied. Everything is ready for onward travel, except there's an issue must be made aware of. Cassia makes a quick nervous gesture, adjusting the adornment over her third eye. Right, she's been studying the records left by the vessel's previous navigator. I want to double check the route to Janus and discovered that it does not match the one recorded in the atlas. It is more than a minor warp fluctuation. The route has been wiped out. It can no longer be used for travelling. Shit, that sounds bad. I started checking the paths from the atlas one after the other and saw the same thing. The warp is roiling with an ominous storm, bursting with vivid and screaming colours. That's not good news. It will not hinder our movement, but all previous knowledge is now utterly useless. Right, that doesn't sound good there. Some kind of warp storm. Right, Argenta angrily chops the air with the side of her palm. Warp storms are our enemies, just like heretics and demons. It's just a shame they can't be dispersed with a flamer or a bolter. Now we can be certain that problems with astropathic communication in the koronus expanse are no coincidence. There's a warp disturbance in your way, Lord Captain. It is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. This means you need to locate the keywords of the Von Valancius Protectorate as soon as possible. Talking about Janus, Darganus, and Kiava Gamma. Saw some refugees from there, didn't we? And there's one of those places was where we were delivering food from, apparently. Shine your route so they can be reached and result on getting control back. It's going to be necessary. Right, so I think we know about Janus. That's the food place. Agric World, yeah. Food base, yeah, that's what we're saying. Careful supplying the stuff, yeah, because it was part of that deal. Yeah, we know about that. We've heard about that. He was wanting that was the Liege. Cut him out of that deal, but I think he's we're sending him some food from Janus actually, yeah, as part of some kind of arrangement. But, we don't really like him. He's a bit of a rival, so we've taken on board one of his enemies, Jay, just to piss him off. Let's ask about what the consequences would be if we lose these worlds before we go into these other places. Right, a world deprived of connection to its neighbouring systems and the koronus expanse infrastructure can only rely on itself, and their capabilities are often limited. Yeah, you don't want to get cut off in your own system. Right, Janus does not have a fleet of its own. Right, so they just do the food, just like a big farm system basically, yeah. And it's pirates, cultists, heretics, xenos, anyone could prey on the helpless planets. The loss of communication is a threat to your position. A rogue trader with no protectorate to back them is one that grows weaker by the day. Yeah, we can't allow that to happen, can we? So obviously they need stuff from the various different systems. So these guys have got no fleet, nobody backing up their security, but the other guys might not have any food or not have enough food, so they need to get it from this system being sent across to them. So if that all gets blocked up, it's going to cause a problem. Right, Abla's chipping in here. Right, you are rogue trader. Sprauticus von Valancius, the successor to Theodora von Valancius, one of the most influential women this side of the moor. But you're also new to the business of governing. Many will doubt your competence and try to carve up your protectorate so they can snatch a piece for themselves. Yes, we've got to show our allies and foes that we're in control of the situation, which is why the sooner we reclaim these lost worlds, the better. Right, so, okay, we'll tell you about this place, Kiava. Industrial world, and it's managed by that guy, Governor House of Gaprak, and supplies rare mineral resources. Right, so that's industrial mining sort of place. Adeptus Mechanicus Manufacturum that processes materials and prepares them for shipment. Alright, a bit of a kind of tech factory kind of place with some hardcore industry and mining going on there. So that's Kiava Gamma. That's where those refugees were from. Something had happened there already, hadn't it, on Kiava Gamma. A lot of refugees from there that had already come to footfall. And testify that Kiava Gamma is world marked by the Messiah's patronage. Yep, he'll probably like it there with all that robot-y technology stuff going on there. Janus coughs quietly. Mistress Tillerman neglected to mention that the Kiava Gamma manufacturer also supplies heavy machinery, from forage harvesters to vessel systems. Alright, whatever. Yeah, I got the idea. Abelard turns his hard eyes on Heinrichs. You display commendable knowledge of our world's manufacturing capability, Van Calox. Maybe a bit suspiciously. Pleased to be of service. Not sure I trust this Heinrichs guy. Right, what about this Darganus person? It's the heart and soul of the Protectorate. It's where the main administrative resources and storage facilities are, and so is the von Valancius Palace. Need to check that out then. Oh, that's where our public likes at the title of Rogue Trader. Right, yeah, need to make sure that's all good. Major administrative hub. So yeah, that's kind of like the diplomatic sort of political hub, sounds like it. Right, fair enough. Right. Janus probably the food one, probably the most severe, I would have thought, but can survive without the politics and the technology stuff longer than we can survive without food, I would have thought, but that would be perhaps the most pressing issue. But I think maybe if I was a bit vain, I'd want to go and make sure my rogue trader palace was sorted out first. What do you reckon? That's what this industrial one. It's going to have a Darganus. Quite fancy having a look at that actually. Or the agricultural Janus. That sounds like an interesting word to check out, doesn't it? Janus. I swear that deal was centred around that. I've got some deal based around this. So it'd be interesting to go and get down on the ground, make sure they're all sorting out my trades and stuff. Let's ask Abelard about it. Strokes his beard for a few seconds. We discovered the agricultural supply protector with something none of us can. Yeah, sustenance. That's exactly what we said. Got to do the food place first. The importance of basic supply should not be underestimated. Just look at footfall in its current pitiful state. Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. Got to go to Janus and do the food stuff before you do the technology and the politics, because that's the most pressing issue here, or the most immediate problem that people can't do without. On the other hand, I'm concerned by the rumours concerning Kiava Gamma. There have been no problems on Janus for many years, but something is wrong with the industrial world right now. Yep. Delay may cost us the entire planet. Right, that's not good news. I don't have to explain the capital world. Losing it would make us a laughing stock of the other dynasties. Yeah, they're all quite vital. Yeah, one's like the kind of capital world. Don't want to lose a capital world where we'll get thrown. That's going to be pretty embarrassing as well. Okay, yeah, well, we're ready to roll. Guess we'll have to go investigate one of these things. Probably Janus, I reckon. Probably Janus. Either Janus or the capital. Depending on how bad it looks.